Do you ever feel like you just don't have enough time to quilt? Maybe you feel that you need hours of uninterrupted time to complete a project. But here's the secret, you don't. Today, we're diving into how you can make some real progress in just 5-minute bursts. Whether you're a busy parent or a full-time worker, or you're just someone who's always short of time, this method will help you keep your creativity alive without feeling overwhelmed. So stick with me and I'll show you how to do it. Hi, I'm Karen Brown of Just Get It Done Quilts. I give you tips, tricks, and strategies to help you make the quilt that you want to make. And if you like what you see, please click that subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow. You've heard me talk about the mental and physical benefits of setting aside 30 minutes a day to sew. But let's be honest, not everyone has that luxury. Life can get pretty busy. Or maybe you're just overwhelmed by a big project and don't have the brain space to figure it out. Or maybe you're just exhausted and don't have the energy to sew. That's where 5-minute sewing comes in. A lot of time-managed experts talk about setting a goal that has a daily objective with both a ceiling and a floor. And it's sometimes called the moon and stars method. For us, the goal is finishing a quilt, and the effort is all the steps necessary to get there. Cutting, sewing, pressing. The ceiling is your perfect day. Maybe a full hour of uninterrupted sewing, your favorite music playing, and no distractions. But let's be real. How often every month can that happen? The floor is your minimum daily effort. And that's where 5-minute sewing comes in. Set a timer and do what you can before the beep. The key is to be satisfied with both. Whether you're giving it your all or you're just squeezing in a few minutes, both will move your project forward. Can you finish an entire quilt in 5 minutes? No. Quilting is a marathon. But every marathon is divided up into sections, then into miles, and then into footsteps. Here, we are concentrating on those footsteps. So what can you do in 5 minutes?
You can press your fat quarters so they're flat and ready to cut.
You can cut some pieces of fabric. Instead of trying to cut everything at once, break it into short sessions. For example, one day you cut the squares, the next day you cut the strips. How about chain piecing? Line up all your pieces and sew them in a long continuous chain. You'll be surprised at how much you can get done in 5 minutes. Pressing and ironing. Proper pressing makes a huge difference in your accuracy and your results, and it only takes a couple of minutes. Block and quilt assembly. After you sew components into blocks, the blocks can be sewn into strips, and those strips can be sewn into a bigger block, and those bigger blocks get assembled into a quilt. How about bobbin and thread preparation? Nothing disrupts your flow like running out of thread mid-seam. Take 5 minutes to wind some bobbins and to clean your sewing machine. Tidy your workspace. A clean sewing area helps you find a rhythm and stay focused. Think of sewing in short bursts like a savings account. Every little bit adds up.
Is it as easy as it looks? Sort of. You need to
Experiment to find a pace that suits you.
These 5-inch squares are a really old UFO I found in my stash, and I'm using them to make this block. And the steps to make it are really straightforward.
The steps are: mark the diagonals, sew the half square triangle, cut the block into 2,
Then press the HST blocks open, then trim them to the correct size.
Then you lay out the HST blocks, you sew the squares into rows, then sew the rows into strips, and sew the strips into blocks. However, it is your choice how you want to work through these steps.
I tried working one set of blocks at a time, which made 2 HST blocks, but I didn't find it fit the cadence of the 5 minutes. Then I experimented with 1 row, and that wasn't quite right either. In the end, I found that working all 16 blocks through each stage worked the best. and I'm amazed at how quickly this old UFO came together. Working on this new version of my Capella cluster quilt, I found I had the opposite problem. If I worked too many pieces at one time, I lost my accuracy. So I brought it right back to working one block at a time. Not only did my accuracy return, so did the fun. And for my tiny economy block project, I brought it right back to just working 2 at a time.
Finding your own pace gives some structure to your 5-minute sessions while keeping things fun. And don't be afraid to switch it up if it stops working for you. One of the best time management tricks that I've learned is starting early. When you can check things off your list before breakfast, it sets an amazing tone for the day. The funny thing about 5 minutes, once you find it, you keep finding more. Think about all the times in the day when you're just waiting for the water to boil, waiting for the laundry to finish,
Waiting for your food to cook,
waiting for people to call or to show up, waiting for answers,
waiting for files to download,
and waiting for others to get ready. Instead of scrolling your phone, take that 5 minutes and sew. In fact, I have trained myself to default to sewing. If I have time to play a game on my phone or watch a reel, I have time to quilt. Using this trick, I have found so many 5-minute sessions during the day.
and I really see a difference in my output, my skills, and my mental health.
Okay, so you have 5 minutes. How do you ensure that you use that time wisely? Well, keep your sewing space organized. If you only have 5 minutes, you don't want to waste it looking for supplies. Plan your next step. Before you stop, leave yourself a note on what you're doing next so you can jump right in next time. Have a backup project.
Because unfortunately, not all stages of quilt making, like in the beginning and the planning phases, can be broken down into 5-minute sessions.
So when you have those moments, be sure to have a simple project at hand to sub in, like these HST blocks or some scrap sampler blocks. Use the timer as a guide and not a rule. There may be times that you have a couple more minutes to sew, or you need another couple of minutes to finish a step. Just remember to restart your timer. Sewing is a right-brained activity, and it's very easy just to get deep into something and lose track of time. Ask me how I know that one. So if you don't want to burn your dinner or miss an appointment, always be sure to reset this timer. Consider also having a hand sewing project ready for when you're away from your machine or you just need a slower pace. Finally, remember 5-minute sewing isn't about filling every single moment of your day. If you're feeling exhausted or too overwhelmed, sometimes the best thing you can do is just take a 5-minute breathing break. You can meditate, stretch, or even take a quick cat nap. The important thing is consistency. Even 5 minutes a day adds up to over 30 hours of sewing a year. Imagine what you can complete. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more quilting tips. Hit the bell so YouTube will notify you when I make new videos. Take care, and I'll see you next time.